Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on a DIY paper mache bowl that's African inspired. Here are some samples of some paper mache bowls, and you've probably seen some of these at places like Home Goods. And here is my inspiration piece, but I'm going to show you how you can make one for a fraction of the cost. For this project, I'm starting off by using a couple of bowls that I got from the Dollar Tree. For the shape of the bowl, I'm using the medium size bowl, and I'm using some plastic wrap just to protect the bowl from the paper mache. And for the paper mache, I'm just using the regular flour, water, and a little bit of salt mix, as well as some cut up newspapers. So I'm just going to be putting multiple layers of the paper mache across the bowl. And I do maybe around 4 coats of the paper mache. And you'll also see in this tutorial that I also cut out a cardboard circle, and that's just an optional step, but I just felt like it would give the bowl more balance, so that's why I added it in there. Here you can see where I'm actually applying the styrofoam circle. So I just took an extra piece of styrofoam, cut it around the same size as the back or the bottom of the bowl, and I'm just using some tacky glue to stick it. So now that I added the styrofoam circle, I'm just going to cover it up with a couple more layers of the paper mache. So after a day or so, I let the paper mache completely dry, and so now I'm removing it from the bowl, and I'm just going to be cutting off the excess paper so that way it becomes nice and even towards the shape of the bowl. So you see I'm going to be using some spray paint to cover the bowl, and I'm doing this so that way I don't risk seeing newspaper when I cover it with my decorative paper. So for decorating my paper mache bowl, I'm using paper from this Capital Chic paper pad, which I love. I love this paper pad. I should go out and get another one because I feel like I've been able to do a lot of creative projects with it, kind of like this paper mache bowl. So I'm going to use a sheet of paper to make the paper mache bowl. For this project, I'm using 2 sheets of paper just to make sure I have enough to cover the inside and the outside of the bowl. To start decorating the bowl, I'm using the bowl itself as a measuring tool to cut out 2 circles. so that way I can use it for the inside and outside of the bowl. Here you can see me using my measuring tape to measure the inside of the bowl, and I'm doing this so I can see how big I need to make the paper strips. So I decided to make around 4" by 3" paper strips, and you'll see I'll be cutting these strips into smaller strips in the interior, but leaving them kind of attached. You'll probably see it better than I can explain it, but these are the strip sizes that I'm using to make the strips for the paper mache bowl. So here you can see I have my 4" by 3" rectangle, and so now I'm going to cut 3 to 4" strips within the rectangle, coming towards the top but not going through, so that way there's still a solid piece of paper that's holding everything together in place. Also for this project, I'm using Liquitex gel gloss, and it's pretty much just a high-end Mod Podge. You can use Mod Podge just fine for this project, but since I had it laying around, I decided to go ahead and use it. And I'm going to be using a Styrofoam brush in order to paint it onto the paper mache bowl. So the reason I cut the paper into strips, as you see here, it makes it easier to place and maneuver inside of the bowl given the shape of the bowl, and then I can take the end pieces and help kind of guide them into the circular shape, and the piece that kind of keeps them all together, the solid piece, I'm going to be bending that back across the bowl. So this is how I'm able to get the shape of the square pieces to fit snugly and nicely on the bowl. And now I'm going to repeat the same process for the back of the bowl. The last step I'm doing is cutting small cuts inside of the circle paper so that way it can easily fold into the rest of the paper mache. And here I'm just giving once over of the latex gloss just to make sure that everything is sealed. And here you have it. Here is my version of a DIY African inspired paper mache bowl. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch my video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing that way, and ring the notification bell so that way you can make sure you see more content by me. And I'll see you guys next week.